I know what you're thinking. Hush didn't come out in 2024, it came out in 2016. Yeah, that is true, but what did happen in 2024 was the physical release, finally, of the movie with the so-called Shush cut, the definitive cut of this movie in the way Mike Flanagan always intended it to be seen. Hush is an extremely simple movie, it's just 80 minutes long and it's about a home invasion. A killer arrives at a house in the woods where a deaf-mute woman lives and decides to have some fun with her before killing her. We see for the rest of the movie a battle of wits of Maddie trying to find ways to outsmart the killer and to call for help, while the killer keeps finding ways to keep her trapped in the house, circling the house like a shark does with its prey. The movie has very little dialogue, so most of the story is only told through visuals, through the immaculate performances of John Gallagher Jr. and the amazing Kate Siegel, Mike Flanagan's wife. The movie's all about its simplicity, about stripping back layers until all that's left is the minimum you need to tell a story and for it to work, which is why I appreciate the Shush cut quite a lot. The original cut was in color and used a lot of music to aid in the tension of the film, but, and this is no shade at all to the Newton brothers who did the score because I love their soundtracks, I even have Blind Manor's soundtrack on vinyl, but the music in the film feels a little hand-holdy. With the Shush cut, almost all of the music is taken away from the film, only the last 20 minutes really have any music, which I find helps so much to tell the story of the movie in a more effective way. Firstly, because the lack of music helps with the immersion. It's much easier to feel like you're in that situation in the movie if you're not being told how to feel by the music. Which ties into the second reason, which is the neutrality that the lack of music causes. The scene where the killer kills Maddie's friend Sam in the original cut was full of music, to overwhelm the viewer with a sense of dread, which does work to be fair, but in the Shush cut, the lack of music enhances the brutality of the scene, not making the viewer feel dread anymore, but instead feel horrified at the brutality of what is happening. Mike Flanagan mentions this neutrality a lot in the director's commentary of the Shush cut, about how the lack of music adds something creepy to the movie by not signaling to the audience that what is happening is horrific and bad. The Shush cut also adds another layer of creepiness with the black and white filter compared to the original cut of the film that was in color. Firstly, Mike and Kate always envisioned this film in black and white, but couldn't have that originally due to the studio trying to make this movie more marketable. Secondly, I just think the black and white really accentuates certain visuals, like the killer's mask or the blood we see throughout the movie, that makes it more horrific somehow. But also, there's a layer of added creepiness with the black and white of where, before, these shadows in color wouldn't feel as intimidating, but in black and white, every dark corner could be somewhere the killer's hiding in. It keeps you looking at the void created by the black and white in the shadows and wondering where the killer could be. Even separate from the Shush cut, as I mentioned before, the movie's an experiment with simplicity. It has a very simple plot, just a woman trapped in her house as a killer tries to get her. Very simple characterization as well, we barely know anything about the four characters of the movie. Maddie is a writer who feels very lonely as of recently, Sam is a nice friend and neighbor of Maddie's, John is Sam's boyfriend and we hardly know anything about him, and we have the killer. The killer's motive is never revealed. Maddie is deaf-mute, so she can't even talk, which means the movie has barely any dialogue. We strip away all these layers, strip away the music and color with the Shush cut, and we are left with just visual storytelling for 80 minutes. Of two actors giving their all to communicate to the audience how they're feeling without speaking words. It's truly masterful work from Mike Flanagan to have gotten the movie to be as good as it is, and it's a testament to how great all four actors are that they managed to pull it off. The one and only issue I have with this movie, after speaking about its simplicity as a positive so far, is that, due to its simplicity, it's a movie with not a lot to say. Thematically, the movie's bare bones, just a movie about hope versus cruelty. It's not a movie that will keep you thinking introspectively after you watch, it's just a thrill ride. It's expected, this movie was made with the intention of being simple, and a movie doesn't need to be some introspective piece about society for it to be good. But the lack of substance for the movie does somewhat keep it from being perfect, in my opinion. All that said, I think Hush is an extremely good horror movie that thrives in its simplicity to showcase masterful filmmaking and amazing acting from Kate Siegel and John Gallagher Jr. If you've never checked out Hush in the 9 years since it came out, I very much recommend buying the 4K Collector's Edition so you can watch the brilliance of the Shush cut in the way Mike Flanagan always intended for the film to be watched.